How about this? I think we got it. I don't know what broke. There's always something that breaks. I think that's literally the defining piece of my AMAs. There's always something that's broken. But the good thing is that we can fix it. Okay, so here we go. I'm super happy to have all of you here. Today is a very, very special and important day. I've been building suspense by breaking my technology so that everybody would be waiting for what I have to say. But obviously, I'm not going to tell you right away. Right now, we have a mystery guest who is ready and waiting to have a chat with me. His name is Ren. I hope that is a reference to Star Wars Kylo Ren. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that Slim Ren is going to tell us. Are you there? Because you should be in the Telegram channel. Ren.
Hey, hello.
Hey, hello. So good to have you on the show today, or on this AMA. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Yeah. So Ren, before we go to the big announcement, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about yourself without giving away where you're actually from.
All right. Yeah, so I think myself, I'm a CMO of a project that's working very closely with the community that you guys all in. So I think it's really exciting to be here, and it's a huge pleasure to meet you guys as well. And thanks so much for making time for this. And to our Asian partners and friends, Happy Lunar New Year to you guys.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. Is it Chinese New Year now?
Not yet.
Oh, but it's close to?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, before the whole Blizzard Activision controversy, I was a huge Overwatch fan. So I always knew when it was Chinese New Year because there'd be a whole event in Overwatch and they always had the best skins. So
I do play Overwatch myself previously.
You do?
I'm just really bad at it. Yeah.
What do you main? Do you have a main? What do you play?
I'm a Mei player. I'm a devil.
A Mei player? Oh my God, you're Satan. You're Satan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, so for those of you out there that actually played Overwatch or that like the game, I'm a Lucio main myself, but I like to switch between characters. But I haven't played for a while. But we got a real Satan in here, ladies and gentlemen. A Mei main. Oh my God. Cool. So, well, Ren, you said thank you to me, but I want to say thank you to you for being on the AMA today. And so just perhaps you can tell us a little bit so we can actually, by the way, before I ask my next question of Ren, guys, there are several hints that you can see in here that might help you to figure out what the LaunchPad, because I'm announcing the LaunchPad, we're announcing the LaunchPad today, is going to be. So try and figure it out, but try not to give it away to everybody yet. So Ren, my next question to you, what should we be expecting from our partnership with you guys?
Yeah, I think there's many things that we can do together. Partnership announcements with our existing ecosystem projects, kind of partnerships over there. I mean, for us, like in our LaunchPad, we work as a family, right? Everyone is close together and works together hand in hand to contribute to our community, to get them involved and understand this whole ecosystem, right? So other than the kind of supports that we have in our resources, I think very importantly, it's for our community to be exposed with all of our other ecosystem projects and understand this whole chain as a whole. So I think this is going to be very meaningful and very fun together.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I really believe so as well. So you are calling us. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Can I tell people where you are right now in the world, in the physical world?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Ren is calling to us from the wonderful city of Singapore. That's correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's calling to us from Singapore. I've yet to be there. I've only been to Kuala Lumpur. It's supposed to be an amazing place where you can really experience how it is to live in the future. However, you've got quite an international team, right? The team that we're going to be working with is quite international. Can you give us a little information on that? Tell us where they're all from.
Sure. Our team is predominantly based in Europe, and I'm like the only Asian guy there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but the team is amazing. Like we meet up often, we chat, and I mean it's a really wonderful team, and that's why we try our best to build like the most wonderful community that we can bring.
Okay, yeah. So if we want to give chat another hint of which platform we're on, could you give one regarding the team? You said some of them are in Europe. Can you tell a bit more about that maybe?
Yeah, I think because I don't think that the team have announced that where they are in part of Europe. But I mean, we went to Lisbon. It was pretty fun, and maybe a very interesting hint is like for us is we really take pride in launching the best projects and most interesting projects. And maybe the chat can mention like what are the kind of projects that they really like, maybe GameFi projects or kind of other projects they like that was recently launched. Maybe that would be, we can see whether they know.
Yeah. Are there any? Yeah. So is that a question from you to chat then?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So let us just to be clear. So Ren is asking if there's any favorite projects you have out there that have recently launched and what platforms they've been on. Is that correct? That was your question, right? Let's see if anybody jumps in here. Oh, while we're waiting for, we're live, guys. Join us. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's not an answer. Well, we'll wait for that. People surely have to warm up. One of the things I'd like to, and that was what I kind of was getting at when I asked you, can you tell us a little bit more about the location of the team? Is that we actually, one of the reasons we chose your platform as a launchpad is that we had the absolute privilege of receiving some of your top execs in our office in Utrecht in the Netherlands, and we had pizza together.
Yeah. I've heard.
Exactly. So
they say wonderful things.
They said wonderful things. I'm so happy to hear that. So, of course, it's a hard choice right now in this world, making a decision between different launchpads. There's so many good ones out there. Not all as good one as this one, obviously, but one of the decisions one of the things that really inspired our decision here was that we wanted to have very close ties, short lines of communication, and a good sense of what kind of people we were dealing with, because transparency and accountability are very important here at your Open Metaverse. And so because we got to meet you guys actually came over to office and really made an effort. And then, funny enough, we just had pizza together. Well, that really meant a lot to us. Right. Well, look, I think we've kept people in suspense long enough. It's been 10 minutes. I tend to do this. So before we relaunch into the rest of the interview, can we, oh, I didn't. Yeah, I do. Here we go. I'm gonna announce it. I'm gonna announce the launch platform.
4, 3, 2,
ladies and gentlemen,
1.
The launch platform we've chosen is
Thunderbirds are
the Solanium Launchpad.
Yay!
Yay! Obviously, this was the best choice we could have ever made. And we had Arthur work a whole week just to make this super cool video loop. And for those of you that have been paying attention, because I'm just quickly going to transition back to myself now. For those of you that have paid attention, if you look right over here in the screen on the side, on my television, the Solanium Launchpad logo has been making its turns ever since we started the AMA. And in fact, I also made sure that all the colors in the room are more or less the colors of the Solanium Launchpad. So that was a few hints we were dropping. Cool. Yeah,
that was really cool.
So Ren, I already asked you what to expect, and you told us a little bit about your amazing team and the partnership. How we're going to go forward. But let's focus a little bit on Solanium right now. What's next for the platform? What's next for you guys?
Yeah, I think for us, maybe I can just do a quick introduction. So I'm Ren. I'm the CMO for Solanium. So I think for us, what we really focus on is, of course, having a very community-based launchpad. And the next kind of direct thing that we are doing is fixing our existing kind of bugs as well as concerns that our community have. And in terms of product development, what we're looking at is to actually, it's very interesting actually, is we are creating something to allow our community to vote as well to decide the projects that comes on Solanium. Yeah, so that's one, and the second thing is, of course, we are trying to innovate. This is kind of like a hint, right? So, of what we're gonna do. I think more announcements will be made up soon, but maybe just a big of a small surprise for you guys or a gift is that we are innovating a new way for our lottery system to be conducted.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll leave it as that. Yeah.
So can you tell us anything more about that?
Essentially, what we want to do is be able, like, for anyone to actually participate regardless of tiers. Let's say for people that can contribute to the project positively,
Yeah.
that we can give them a higher allocation. So on those lines, I think once we have announcement for that, you guys will know how this works.
Awesome. Well, that means that everybody again has to stay tuned in for what's coming next. Basically, every week we give them cool announcements for what they have to look forward to the next week, and we keep going from there. And I can tell that Solanium. You see, this is great minds think alike, right? They do the same stuff as Solanium. They hype you up with an announcement of the announcement. But at the end of the day, we do deliver. And we announced last week that we were going to announce a LaunchPAD this week, and that's what we're doing right here. So, okay, so another good question. I think I'd like to ask you, and then let's see if there's any questions from chat. By the way, chat guys, are you alive in there? I haven't seen any chat questions yet, and I really want to get some. So make sure that you post your questions either in the YouTube chat or in the Telegram chat. So my next question for you, Ren, is what are some really big achievements that Solanium has recently achieved?
I think something rather unique, and actually we didn't really advocate this or share this that much, but something that we are really rather proud of is we actually fully distributed our tokens to our seed and private investors. So actually that was actually distributed, I think about 2 months ago.
Oh wow!
So right now is essentially there's no further dilution of the token itself. So that's where our community is really we're starting to really grow it in a way where community is really owning most of our tokens.
Yeah, cool. That's so cool. Yeah, I think that's something that ultimately in the future of your metaverse, it's something we aspire to as well. To really make sure that the community is really involved in more or less the same way as you guys have done that. Super cool. I wasn't checking it recently because honestly I've been so caught up in everything in your metaverse that I didn't keep tabs, but that's super cool. So yeah, go on. What you want to say?
No, I was just saying that I wanted to maybe add on a bit as I think we're very fortunate, or something that I'm really happy about is we get to meet a lot of very interesting founders and to join our family, like from you guys, and from there they'll introduce interesting projects along to us as well. Like from there we can slowly grow this whole ecosystem and community. And I mean, for us, we're here to stay for the long term, right? So I'm really very excited how things will look like 5 years from now, how big our community and how big this whole family is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice one you got there. The how will it look in 5 years kind of attitude. I think just this morning I had a conversation with some KOLs, around how our go-to-market is, and for example, why we don't have a much bigger allocation for KOLs, because that's what a lot of other projects like this do. And the thing that we always come back to, the thing that's behind basically all of our decisions, is that we're here to stay, right? We're not here for 1 year. We're not here for 2 years. We're here for as long as we can possibly add value to our users, to the brands, artists, and creators that will be working with us. And that also really informed our decision on what LaunchPAD to go with. And I think that was something that we really connected with very nicely with you guys, is that long-term vision that you're here to stay. Yeah. Oh, it's Yozo. Yozo is a regular. He's here every week. This guy is amazing. Really have to give him a prize someday. And he got a question.
He's an OG.
He's an OG. Yeah. So Yozo says, is it going to work like Launchpool? Do we need to own a Slim? Oh, he said Slim tokens? Yeah, well, yeah. To buy or just Solana. Yeah. So, well, maybe you want to answer that one because you know the answer.
All right, I'll take that. Yeah, so how Solanium works is we have 2 pools. We have one pool for the staking pool. If you go to our website, you'll realize that we have 5 different level of tiers where you can stake the Slim tokens and basically have an allocation in the project that we launch. And the other pool is a social pool where users perform social tasks to actually get a raffle for lottery. So for our social pool as well as staking pool for tier 1 to tier 3, we actually decide the winners via lottery. So all this lottery is it's 100% via codes. Like we don't there's no manipulation or anything. So in that way, we actually kind of make sure that everyone have the equal chance, and you can basically increase your chances by performing more social tasks.
Cool.
Yep. And tier 4 and tier 5 will be our guaranteed allocation tier. So if you guys want to participate in every single project with a guaranteed allocation, they can look into tier 4 and tier 5. Yep.
Does that answer your question, Yozo? I hope it does. And otherwise, we'll just get back to it. No worries. Is there any other questions? Let me check YouTube here. Let me check Telegram. I think for now, we're still good. Last week, people were trying to kill me with their questions. I think they're still getting warmed up, or perhaps we need to find a different time. It's like the end of the week in Europe. Perhaps people are just already drunk and tired.
Could be.
So, Ren, what time is it over there by now in Singapore? It's quite late, isn't it?
It's 11 p.m.
11 p.m. Oh, well. I'm so happy that you still wanted to make time for us, but then again, maybe because you
no
work.
worries.
Do you sleep at all? Be honest.
Yeah, I do actually. It's not much, especially like in this past few months. I think December we had like essentially 3 launches a week.
Yeah.
So that period was insane. It was last December, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it can get real crazy in this world. You know, you would almost be happy with a bear market because it means that there will be less project launches and stuff going on. So yeah, go on.
Yes, go on.
So we have 2 questions here. So one I'm gonna take, but the other one, and that's I'll take this one. Yozo says, so when does launch happen? So we're not gonna tell you, Yozo, because you know us. We're only gonna announce right now that we might announce next week that we know. No, look, we're gonna get there pretty soon. In fact, I think that we have a date set. I'm rephrasing that. We have our eyes set on a date, and we've probably already spoken with Slim as well. I'm pretty sure, but we're not going to announce that today yet because there's a final I's and T's, I's T's to cross, I's to dot. Yes, but soon, very soon. Now we have LaunchPAD announced. It's going to be soon, promise. So the next question that I got from MetaMan is, how should we look at this partnership? In example, what will the collaboration with Solanium look like? Well, we already touched on this a little bit at the start, but perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about that, Ren, from your side.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So other than, of course, like sharing Beam Up to our community, I think other than that is like what I mentioned previously, the partnerships within our internal ecosystem, or even other ecosystem as well. Like for Solanium, we work with many different other launchpads and basically other chains. Other chains like BSC, Ethereum. We're very close with launchpads, but I mean, for us, we are very okay with working with anyone else. Yeah, I think other than that, it's just the partnership projects to really bring the project to beam up to a next level. And that's where we come in. And for us, like for every single project that we actually launch, we basically want to establish, and it's very important to us that we establish a very long-term partnership with the project. Right? For us, we don't really bring any projects on board on Solanium, and when we do, we make sure that we give 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's a very good answer. I couldn't have done that better myself. So let's see. Is there any other questions for now? No. So because I got a couple written down here as well that owl. So who's the Launchpad? I prefer to read them video chat. Oh. No. Don't answer him. Let's go in video chat. No, wait. I'm going to give him something that will tell him, give him the answer to that. Here. That's for you. That's especially for you, Owl. It's uploading. See it in a few seconds. Okay, so coming back to the questions that I have here, I would imagine I really had expected. Oh, somebody answer this question. People don't know how to build suspense. Anyway, so I would have really expected by now a question along the lines of, your old Metaverse, that's amazing, but why Solanium and why not, for example, Radiant? Right? So, and this is, of course, for you, Ren, that's an easy one to answer because why Solanium is better than Radium. But let me answer that one from your open metaverse perspective. So a couple of the considerations that went through our mind obviously was the fact that we had pizza with this team definitely played a role. But more importantly, perhaps, is the fact that comparable, if we look at Solanium and their track record, say over the last, several months I think actually it's in all time, but the track record has been absolutely 100% flawless in terms of launches, right? There have never been any major issues or any major things go wrong. And look, there's another, all the other platforms are also great, don't get me wrong. But for us, quality is really, really, really a very high standard that we hold ourselves to and that we want to hold our partners to. And so in our choice to select a platform, we went for a platform that could guarantee us at least at a track record and proof of absolute quality in terms of launches. And so that was a very important decision influencer for us. Is there anything you want to add to that, Ren?
Actually, you mentioned it really, really nicely, and I mean, thanks so much for that as well. Like for us, every single member in our team, we work overtime to make sure that every launch does well. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for that.
It's my pleasure. That was deserved as well. I think that's even more important. So let's see. Another question that I totally had expected and that I'd like to address right now is the one that is, why is YOM launching in just one launchpad? So your open metaverse is launching right now only on Solanium in the near future. Yes, of course, there will be more, DEXs, etc. following, but right now we're only launching on Solanium. So why is that, right? Well, the answer to that one is that we really want to have one focus point for our efforts. And here again, it connects back to that thing that I mentioned about quality, right? So for us, our efforts and interactions with the market and the community at the outset really need to be perfect, or as close to perfect as we can possibly get. And as soon as you start moving, your focus across different launches and different platforms, etc., different DEXs, it becomes very, very complicated very fast. I mean, let's face it, we're in a crypto market. It's complicated by nature to get everything done properly. And half the world doesn't even understand what we're doing. So in order to get that quality right, we decided to do a few things very well rather than try and do everything all at once. So that's one. The other thing is that when we want to keep liquidity of the project as high as possible. So also moving to different platforms, moving to different launchpads and DEXs and other exchanges means we'd have to dilute, right? And ultimately that doesn't serve, again, our focus on quality right now. That's not to say that we won't in the future, but that definitely informed our decision. So Ren, is there anything you want to ask me right now? Anything that if you had been in the audience right now, you'd want to ask?
Mm-hmm. I think something will be very interesting is like how will YOM, like this is something that I'm personally also very interested to ask as well, because I really quite, I think you have this really cool voice that kind of really can captivate the audience, right? So I think one question will be, given this whole market condition as well as this whole sentiment in the market as well, like how do you foresee possibly how YOM will be like in maybe 5 years down the road?
Oh, this is such a dangerous question to ask me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, great question, Ren. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to try and answer that within 1 minute. Okay, so everybody get your stopwatch out, or is it? Okay. I'm going to start in 5 seconds. The future of YOM, 5 years in the future. Imagine that you're at your home. You're wearing augmented reality headset because by now they've actually reached consumer affordable levels. And you have a phone in your pocket that doesn't actually have a screen because your screen is projected through your augmented reality headset. As you get up in the morning, and you realize that you have to go to an important business event where you have to do an announcement. And right after that, you actually have to go to do a workout with one of your best friends. You don't have to leave the house. You're not even putting on pants because you're comfortable the way you are. You turn on your headset, you press a button on your little phone receiver in your pocket, and you launch into, you know, your standard living room in the virtual reality, augmented reality. From there, you press a button, and suddenly you walk onto the stage, and you do the morning announcement for what's going on at your company. About 20 minutes later, after you've done your presentation, you move out of there, and you buy an NFT that allows you to instantly jump to your new gym class, which is actually Beat Saber in virtual reality on your open metaverse with your best friend. Once there, you decide that, you know, it's great to have good gym clothes at home, but you also want to have some cool virtual, you know, assets to wear, you know, some cool gym clothes for your avatar while you're playing Beat Saber with your best friend. Because if you're beating them, you got to beat them in style. So with some NFT, with some tokens that you've saved up, you buy yourself some cool NFT swag onto your open metaverse platform straight from the marketplace, which is accessible through your augmented reality experience. After that, you go home satisfied after a good day's work and an amazing workout. Did I make it in 1 minute? I probably didn't. That's the future that I see for your open metaverse. Is that something you would do, Ren?
That's really amazing. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed the storytelling.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. So for those of you that haven't, yeah, go on.
I think, do you feel like crypto, like just 1 month feels like a year? Can you imagine how long does 5 years feel?
Oh,
5
man.
years down the road feel. So many things changes like among the years, like this whole for this bull market as well as so many things that rapidly changed, like in just a year's time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that one. It's funny because today I saw this infographic which I shared in my marketing team, and it shows a timeline basically from, you know, the 1800s until the 2000s and beyond. And then it shows technological developments that really changed society, right? That really changed the way we interact with each other, with the world. And you see, you know, there's like a handful in a span of 200 years. And then suddenly in the last century, so between, you know, 1900 and 2000, things start to speed up. And you see that the curve goes exponentially up. And then suddenly it starts to be, you know, new breakthrough. And at the end of it, it says something, well, somewhere in the middle, when it's starting to really peak, like it's a Mount Everest, it says blockchain, right? And then the metaverse. And then there's a whole slew of other technological breakthroughs that are coming through now. And it shows you how it's, on the one hand, in crypto, we say 1 month is like a year, because that's how we experience time, because so much is happening. But on the other hand, also the rest of the world, technological breakthroughs are following each other so rapidly and making such impactful changes. And we can't even really forecast yet how they will influence each other. And that's really also where the metaverse is, I think. What blockchain has been in the last few years for the world in terms of, you know, realization and breakthrough of technology, I think the metaverse is going to take it to a whole new level, especially because blockchain is part of it.
Yeah. Really nicely said.
All right. Well, look, what's the time? It's 4:30. I promised that I would try to do an AMA in 30 minutes. So is there any last thing that you would like to give to our chat, to tell them something, a message you sent them home with, rather either be it about our partnership or LaunchPAD or about Solanium or perhaps something personal?
Yeah, I think it's my first time actually doing something like this, and then yeah, I really enjoyed it. And thanks so much for everyone for making time for this. Definitely won't be the last one. You know, definitely have many chats like this, and really looking forward to, you know, getting working even closely with the YOM team, and, you know, to get all this going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ren. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for taking us onto your platform as well. I really look forward to the collaboration and to doing some amazing stuff in the near future, over the next year and beyond, of course. You guys in chat, sorry?
Yep, of course.
And so, chat, this is your last opportunity to ask any question. If not, we are gonna call it a day. But of course, feel free to ask any questions later on in the Telegram chat or on YouTube. Make sure that if you have really important questions, you make sure that we hear about that, and then I'll try and cover it in the next AMA, or we'll try and answer it, of course, on Discord, on Telegram. Very soon, we're going to be on Reddit as well. We're working on TikTok. which is also going to take off, obviously, because we'll be making some amazing videos. For those of you that don't know, on Wednesdays, Daniel, one of our founders, is hosting weekly Metaverse exploring meetups in Altspace VR and Microsoft. Obviously, we're only using Altspace VR and Microsoft because our own platform isn't ready yet. In the future, I guarantee it will be doing some amazing cool stuff on the Europa Metaverse platform. Be sure to check that out if you're interested. We already have CEOs and speakers and founders from all over the Metaverse space from now until April. So that's going to be super exciting to follow. It's going to be several podcasts that we're going to be in the next few weeks. So keep on the lookout for that. And for now, I know that you guys want to know when TGE, but that will be something I'll answer maybe next time. Thank you so much and see you. Goodbye, everybody.